How's it going, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can invest in real estate for just 250 bucks. Typically, when you're buying an investment property, you're putting down 20% or usually thousands of dollars. So there are cases where you could put down less than 20%, say 3.5 or maybe no money down, but there are strings attached to that. And I talk about it in a previous video, so the link is up above. But usually these strings are that you have to live in the property for a certain amount of years, or you have to pay PMI, which is like an extra insurance since you have less than 20% down. There are also fees like closing costs, there's title costs, there's inspections. There's just a lot of costs associated with actually buying the property. And then when you go to get the loan, the lender is going to be looking at your financials pretty tough. So he's going to be looking at your credit score, your debt to income ratio. So if you have student loans, that may or may not be a problem. There's all sorts of things that's going on. So by the time you find a property that's a good investment to the time you actually own the house, the whole process can take months to go through. There's also the option of investing in what's called a real estate syndication, and it's pretty similar to like a mutual fund for stocks, but for real estate. So there's going to be a manager that's pulling money from different investors and taking that money and buying properties with it. One of the issues with that is that you have little say over the final decision that the manager makes, and hopefully he's a professional, but even professionals make mistakes sometimes. The other big caveat is that most of the time you have to be what's called an accredited investor. And typically to become an accredited investor, you have to be making at least $250,000 if you're single for the past 2 or 3 years, or you have to have a net worth of $1 million. Another issue is that the money you put into the fund is obviously in a property, so it's going to be tied up for a couple of years. So you really don't have as much liquidity in that. So basically what I'm saying is that there's not a ton of flexibility if you want to be able to invest in properties, but you don't have the money saved up to do so. However, there is a platform that is set out to change that, and it's called Lex Market. Lex Markets is a revolutionary platform to let you buy shares of individual properties of commercial real estate. Let me repeat that. Lex Market allows you to buy shares of individual commercial real estate properties. And just like you're able to buy and sell shares of stocks at a moment's notice, you're able to do the same with these commercial real estate property shares. Now, there's still some things I'm also wondering about the platform, like are you able to short shares or do options? I just don't know at this point. But this is a game changer, at least for me, as now I'm able to diversify into real estate passively, but buying individual properties. So I really hope that this platform really takes off, and there's tons of properties out there that you can just drive to and look at the building and whatnot and see if it's a good deal for you. I mean, I just think that's amazing. You just can't do that with stocks. You can't just go to the company. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. All right, so once you sign up for the Lex Markets platform and create an account, the process is pretty similar to signing up for a brokerage account, and it only takes a couple of minutes to do. So as first thing you'll see here is you might notice this map. And what this is showing is the location of the actual property. So it says hold control to interact with it. So you can kind of see sort of the location around. Just get an overall feel for the geography and location of the property. Okay. So our first property here is a parking garage and located in Portland, Maine. So looking at it a little bit more detail, the asset is worth $24 million for the parking garage, and $1 million of that is being offered as tradable securities. So that is where the 4,000 shares at $250 a share. So when the building first goes through its IPO and you're able to actually buy the shares, it's going to start at $250. And of course, like any tradable security, that price can go up or down, but it's going to start at $250. So let's look at another property. The next one looks like a sort of mixed use property, and it's located in Milwaukee. Again, these properties are going to start off at $250 a share. Doesn't give us exactly the same type of information yet. So mixed use, so office and special purpose, has about 41,000 square feet leasable areas, and the sponsor looks like Wilton Partners. So that is most likely the company that owns the building that is having part of its company being IPO'd. And our final property is another office or retail building. So looks like one of the tenants might be Wells Fargo. About 18,000 square foot, and this one is located in New York. So once again, I'm pretty sure that all of these properties are going to start at $250 a share when they IPO. So let's see what happens when you click on one. Let's go to this one. So because these properties are not live, or means that you can't buy shares just yet, what you can do right now is have an indication of interest. And what this means, what is this basically saying is that you might be interested in buying shares. Indicating interest in the property does not contractually require you to buy a share. It's just saying that you're basically interested. So once they do IPO, they will probably send me some sort of email saying that the property is available to be purchased, or the shares of the property. Now, something I wanted to show you was how to create an actual investment account. So when you go to this, you'll see that it's saying that 4,607 people are ahead of me. So in order to move up in the line, you can refer people. And if you do that, so the way this works is that if you refer someone and they deposit $100 into their account, then both you and your friend receives $20. And down here is a referral link, and I'm going to have my referral link in the description. So just click on that and get the $20. Another thing that I wanted to point out was a little bit more about the details of Lex. So again, Lex gives you the opportunity to invest in individual commercial real estate properties. And once these properties actually go live, you'll be able to freely trade on the marketplace. So you'll be able to buy and sell at any time the market's open. Now, one of the most important questions is, of course, how do you make money on Lex? So as long as the property is still producing cash flow, then you're going to make money if you own shares. So if it's the office, as long as there are still tenants that's being leased out to, then you're going to be making some of that money. And one of the most important things I want to point out is that the properties that are initially offered have to be cash flowing to be approved. So they're not going to have any properties on there that's not making any money, at least initially. And right here it says that if the property actually appreciates, then so can the share price. But of course, you know, as stocks works, sometimes that happens because the property goes up. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes the property will increase in cash flows, but the value of the property, or in this case, the value of the shares won't increase, or vice versa. So of course, make sure that you're doing your due diligence when investing. So if you really enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will keep these videos coming.